Arcrob is still very, sad on the inside. On the outside as well, he's not exactly been subtle.
You know, I went into the green room and I just saw...
breaking down.
I just saw Artrum sitting there in the chair crying.
Yeah, it was awful.
Looking at a picture of Jeppe.
Yeah, just that disappointment.
Exactly.
He'd crossed out the eyes, thrown some darts at it.
It's not a good sight, so come on. Please
So
make
offer
it
him some support.
Pantheon.
Exactly.
Make it work for him.
Playoffs now, guys. That's where it really matters.
Yeah, they'll do it in the final. That's the real
M&S
twist.
Pantheon mid. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Gorak, I know you're listening.
With
I know you're listening.
finals.
Well, we've got to see whether they can get that. Reminder, of course, the reason their upper bracket is so important, those top two spots are so important. You get an extra life. It's an upper bracket. You win that juggernaut match. You go straight to the finals. And not only do you get the chance of winning the split, but you immediately lock in European Masters. We only have 2 seeds, and it is the 2 teams that go to the final. So huge benefit to ending up in that upper bracket. And XL eyeing that one up. But Riddle can still play spoiler. They've got a draft that can do it. We said what the Silas can do with the incredible ultimates he has to steal between Hecarim, Perfect Execution, from the Akali, the Unbreakable Will from the Alistair. That's smorgasbord of Silas hijacks there.
Yeah, there's so many different options for him there, so I think it's important for slowQ to be adaptive on the fly and see which ultimate fits which situation the best. Both bot laners will be leashing their junglers. They'll be hitting the bot lane at the same time. Normally see Leona getting a bit more priority, has the center play to fret with if she wants to. Alistar as well can knock opponent AD carry away with the W, preventing them from auto-attacking the waves. But Jinx, obviously with that Q, will just be able to do AoE damage and push it in beforehand, landing a little crash. Mid lane going pretty much as we expected, and honestly surprised slowQ haven't been more trimmed down so far. He's actually doing a decent job at getting this done. M&S does hit level 2, but this is going to be a matchup that's pretty much in control of M&S the majority of the time.
Yep, will be the range into melee. Jace's early laning power is well known. Got to see, of course, what they can get done with it. Both MC and down on level 6 junglers in a lot of ways. You want to get the equalizer, you want the onslaught of shadows before you really start making aggressive, close plays. Unless if you find an easy gank, that's very different. But no, actually, if it's going to be even fights where everyone knows what's going on, you want those big ticket ultimates. So not going to see too much out of them early. It's just going to be the race to level 6. And that then leaves me with the question of what are you expecting out of this early game, considering both junglers kind of have a hard farm kind of priority?
Oh yeah, I mean, they're definitely waiting for 6, and then it's about who can be proactive with it. I mean, Dan do have a little bit more to work around with, just because he'll have the Ghost, he'll have the dash back with the E. But it's definitely about stabilizing solo lanes, I feel like, at least from Riddle's side, to make sure that slowQ gets out of this laning phase alive. Because remember, them getting ahead in the early game doesn't matter as much. It's about hitting those team fighting spot later into the game. You want items on GP, you want items on Jinx. I mean, she's so incredibly broken right now, as we've seen multiple of times. And now talking about stabilizing, M&S getting caught off.
Oh, that's unfortunate, and considering how important this game is. Nukes is here as well to try and turn this into first blood that goes over to slowQ.
And that's a side we don't see often. And it's great run from Riddle. They crashed on wave 3, cheater recalled with Fatuchin, he picked up a call. Meanwhile, they had that downtime. Nukes just move off to the mid lane, gets a E down to M&S as well from the Silas. And just like that, first blood Riddle against JDXL.
Great play, especially into a lane that was supposed to shove in. And it has done, in fairness. It's the teleport Boney Dimboni summoners knew that he was kind of dead to right once that was come through. And he sees Nukes and he says, I can't go back to my tower. I've got to try and get out this way. Just lands the abscond duct.
Yeah, initially M&S tries to park the phase rush so he can just walk out of there afterwards. But slowQ still manages to connect with the chain. And Flash doesn't come out from M&S. He decides to save it, and just like that, he's dead.
17th unique champion for M&S. This split, by the by. He's the only champion he's played more than once, I believe, is the LeBlanc. And that does mean that we're ended up with another pick in his inventory. But of course, hasn't worked out that well early on off that fantastic roam, that fantastic base timing, and it's one of the reasons why learning how to read resets is so important if you want to analyze League of Legends, if you want to be a good pro team in general. You need to work out what's going on as top side.
Igniter's come through.
I know, that's a big one, but Kex kind of gets away with that a little bit here. It's not going to come out too much further. He might get chased away from the wave, though.
Kex doesn't have TP either, so he's in a situation where he either individually outplays this or just stabilizes, or he'll need to call out MC, help him in with a push in, or just wait till Kryze no longer have kill pressure. But once Kryze reaches level 6, this might get a little bit dicey if the wave is in a bad spot for Kex.
Definitely couldn't. Well, we've been kind of calling out M&S as the solo kill king, kind of 2 solo kills a game as a minimum, it feels like, for that guy. Still the global leader in that, I believe. Kryze has been no slouch either. Has been a pretty consistent carry, even if sometimes we've had some questions about the split pushing. We know this guy can carry, we know this guy can play well on the Akali. Getting this kind of potential advantage here with burning through all those corrupting pots, with the teleport already down, is slightly dangerous stuff here for Kex as it continues, though he has managed to shove this wave in.
Movement is so mimic. Look at both these junglers. They know it's about the top side right now, and we talked about a bad wave for Kex.
Boy.
He needs help earlier from MC here.
Ghost, devastating charge coming through the wards into the bush, then it's coming on, but he's gonna have the cannon barrage that comes through just now. Kryze out of danger, the Shroud comes down, flash on Kex. Can Dan catch up though? One final rampage slices down the pirate.
And that's the difference, because Dan decided to ignore his Crocs, while MC decided that I need that Gromp. And because MC went for the Gromp, Kex was not able to punish it. It's miscommunication.
He's going to wait in this bush, though. Remember, there's some electro harpoons.
Ryze has ultimate as well.
And of course, yeah, he doesn't kind of have that ultimate. Remember, that's so much damage. Just burns him down to a crisp. That is horse steak in the jungle.
He can push in the top wave as well if he wants to. He decides to just let it stay even. And he still has the equalizer, so if Kryze decide to recall down here, can literally just equalize him. Yeah, there you have it.
Over the wall with the Shuriken flip, but he's burned out quite a lot. Flash for the electro harpoon into the Shroud, trying to trade this one out. So many tower shots. Perfect execution come through here as well. Not quite. But even with the scrap shield, Kryze gets the solo kill.
That's awkward. That's a Yikers. And with the jungler down, bot lane with the priority decides they'll just solo up the Drake together, or rather duo the Drake. And first objective goes over to the side of JDXL very early as well.
Lane priority gained bot. Great little play there from Kryze to outplay, honestly, on that time. I thought once the equalize came down, that should have been a dare to Kali, but well played initially from MC to get around the vision and punish Dan.
Oh, they just don't expect him. Like, he knew he sweeped the ward. He knew that someone might be around there, but
Genius.
Still ups into it. Knows Kryze is too low to join, and yeah, there you have it. MC just mopping down Dan right here. Hits level 6 off it as well. This is where he starts getting a little bit greedy. I feel like if you're playing this one a little more patient, perhaps try to stop him with the harpoon first, save the equalizer for afterwards, wait for Kex to come back around, maybe it works.
Yeah, we have to leave that replay because we've got to play in bot. Onslaught of Shadows sends nukes into the grave. Not the best headbutt pulverized conversation I've ever seen because Kikis miss at Pulv. Just forced Fatachan away and he does get out alive, but that got a bit close and MC can continue chasing forward. Not quite got equalized, but it's now up. Does land it. Forces Kikis to burn down. Medium rare. Zamalek being chased out as well. So Mega Death Rocket not quite enough, but the zap is flashed away from.
Yeah, Sam hits a minion as well, but Samuel, he has to respect it. And MC, I mean, both junglers really, they're just dancing together. They're moving around at the map at the same time. Great knock-up there, actually. Can't believe that, hit nukes at the same time. And then they fancy themselves a fight. They realize that JDXL might have stepped too far forward, but just like that, Dan is able to join the fight as well with MC being Harris at the same time. And yeah, it's unfortunate.
Tried to go for the flash headbutt pulve, went for flash pulverized headbutt instead, and then that does lead to the equalizer coming off cooldown. And then Kikis, you can smell the sirloin from here.
Oh, Fatachan did have flash as well if he wanted to try and get up and be dicey with it, but decides to try and opt in for the sap instead. Either way, that's still brilliant for Riddle. And I wanted to have a look at this before the top lane fight earlier broke out. It's actually the fact that AD carries right now really favoring Fatachan in this lane just by the farm in itself without being influenced by the junglers. He had a 10 CS lead as well. And despite Samuel having picked up a kill now, it's still looking very good for the Jinx. The longer range to play around with once we come into that mid game is going to be super nice. And if you can continue like this, it's going to be brilliant. But Riddle, they moved in with a rotation where they can secure the Herald for themselves. They push in bot, move Fatachan into the mid lane. But now they're losing out plays on the bot side. But luckily, Samuel doesn't have the best gun in his weapon selection.
Now, see what Gravitum turns into once he burns through it. If there should be chakrams if he's managed his weapon rotations correct. We'll see whether that is true. In that case, this tower will start dying a lot quicker. Am I right? Nope. No, he's got Infernum. Okay, he's messed up his rotations just slightly, so he'll have to try and clear through this best he can. Of course, my knowledge of Aphelios weapon rotation order is still a little limited, so I do apologize to anyone who is an Aphelios aficionado who can tell me I'm wrong. But as it stands, only going to get the 2 plates, but Fatachan and Nukes are back down here to try and defend. Herald did go to MC, of course, while that was all happening.
They had level advantage there as well on Riddle, where they could have gone for a play, but quite frankly, they don't have the vision around them to securely go for it. Therefore, Nukes decided to be a little hesitant. Did not in on them. Would have been prime targets though. Kikis hadn't hit level 6 yet, and there's no flash in Samulek. All they needed to burn was that cleanse, and there's multiple elements of CC kickers with this roam.
But could be a little bit afraid because, of course, you can just steal the Unbreakable Will, and suddenly Silas is not really a gankable target anymore. M&S has quietly managed to garner himself a over 40 CS lead in mid, though, which is pretty hefty, even if it is ranged into melee.
Oh, most definitely. It's expected to at least be ahead, but being this far ahead, as you said yourself, even with a death, that's very impressive. 400 gold behind for slowq. Remember, for him, it was about surviving laning phase as well. He's still very much caught up in it, but in just 1 minute, we will have the Infernal Drake coming through as well. Potential fight up towards top side, though.
Cannon Barrage comes down. Kex trying to play it out, but he did miss the barrels. Perfect execution gets him in range. Shuriken Flip trying to play this one out, and we're into a pause.
Hey, that's us.
I can't believe it.
That's a break.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Goodbye.
Who dies? Get back here.
Well,
You're like
time.
the advertising break. We've got to hold people here. You've got to be entertaining. It's like Super Bowl adverts. What can we do to keep people around?
Oh, damn, I'm so bad at this. I'm just here to talk League of Legends as soon as
I
League
know
of
you are
Legends is on.
fantastic at coming up with skits. Don't you dare say that. What
Yeah, but that's when I have time to sit
on the fly.
down and kind of
ideate with me. Come on.
You know, me and Nymera were talking about a skit about hiding in the LEC studio
I did
together.
hear about this one.
Where the other casters trying to hunt us down.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, we were also filming with a goat yesterday.
I did hear there was a goat involved.
Yeah.
And blood.
No, don't mention that part.
Okay.
No, the goat did not get hurt.
The goat did not get hurt.
Yeah, that's actually the important part. The goat did not.
Watch for the goat.
Well, do you have anything else? What about you? You guys brought up the Star Wars skit back
I
then.
was going to do that one, but I've actually also just been talking about it. We've got a replay, so I'll talk about that skit after we've seen this, because this was the play that we kind of got frozen in the middle of, where Cries perfectly executes across the cannon barrage to try and secure the solo kill.
Thanks for putting the groovy music on it as well. Kex flashes into the bush, gets out of vision, gets the Q down, but it's just not enough.
Ooh.
It's going to be enough from Cries to pick up that kill. Very explosive matchup, and just right back at it for us. Sorry, what's your main again in terms of champions getting picked? I feel like all the others are crying about it.
Evelyn, I got that. I have had mine.
Your champion, yeah. So we're actually waiting. Well, I've had one with Renata. We're just waiting for Katarina and von
something
Pantheon.
for exactly that.
Well, Chubba's a support main now, so surely one of the picks is going to come through for her.
Given up on Katarina because she's not in a great space right now, apparently.
I know.
Let's talk to her about that.
She's not in a good spot right now. Where are you? No, I'm a Katarina main.
Katarina support. Coming to a game right now. Enough of this procrastinating, because we have some League of Legends to keep track of. There's the solo kill that came through in the top side we just saw in the replay, so that should bring us back to live. Cries with a solo kill. Can they get the super mega death rocket? Have they spaced it? Cries.
I mean, surely the communication came through, because M&S quite literally dodged it. Now in the mid lane, though, still multiple members around M&S.
Onslaught of Shadows just out of range, flashing in. Does get the turnaround with a sidejack. Onslaught of Shadows. Dan now in trouble. Equalizer comes through, and they've gone too deep, and the mid jungle is dead for XL. They can potentially chase on the Kickers, who still doesn't have level 6.
How the hell is Kick is still level 5 with Nukes being level 7?
That's just obscene. slowq managed to get it, just outtimes the fear and overdive the Silas. Even if he's that far behind in CS, you get this kind of play.
And M&S did have the flash, but slowq just engages with the chains before he gets the time to react. A nice stolen ultimate as well, gets the shutdown on M&S, able to pick up the upper kills. And I gotta say, MC on this Rumble has been phenomenal so far in terms of how he's piloted. Yes, there was that top lane dive, but outside of that, he's been great for his team.
The counter kills have been fantastic, and the fact Dan just shorts the Onslaught of Shadows, so slowq can flash away, so M&S can't quite get the kill. Great stuff from the Silas.
And before this Drake gets taken, I feel like it's important we reiterate the stakes as well in a choice.
Oh, yeah.
Because for JDXL, they might potentially be losing their top 2 if they lose this.
They lose this, they are third. There are no tiebreakers, there are no other situations. It's in the mid lane. M&S gets some vengeance, gets the solo kill. MC comes around, though, to make sure he pays for it.
Yeah, MC as well. On a shutdown now for the Rumble. Has even opted in for Dark Sail, potentially.
It's got Dark Harvest.
Potentially, we might even see Medjai's coming out from it. On top side as well, feels like there's some little bit of brawling again. Rift Herald gets pushed away. Yep, Cries.
Our shot, and he can wait for some parlays here. And suddenly Cries in a dangerous position. He's not got perfect execution. He needs to be really afraid about stepping forward. Are you sure? No flash available, no cannon barrage. So I think he's probably just about okay, but cannot control this wave anymore.
And in the mid lane, Rift Herald did not get charged either. Let's actually see what happened here in the mid lane, because it starts out with slowq actually hitting the Everfrost, and then it's just pure Jace damage from M&S, and I do believe it's an equalizer that'll be layered down on top of her. Dark Harvest, you mentioned it. The burn is enough. Another kill for MC, and up in top lane, they're not done. They keep going.
Price heal back up, but he's still got to think about maybe burning the teleport here. He's trying to keep it alive. You know he wants to be having that around about for things like a second Herald that could be coming up in relatively short order. Now, I think he might look for the reset at some point. With the Rift Maker in inventory, does have enough sustain right now to just about survive. But he's to be a little afraid. There are some barrels hidden around.
I love that none of them decides that, all right, let's go for reset. It's too risky. They both feel like they'll win out in this 1v1.
We go! Get into the Shroud. Cannon Barrage comes through, and that's the ultimate popped alongside the Ignite. Not going to quite take Kex down, but he needs to find his way into safety. A parlay might do the work required. Alcove Gaming as M&S is here. Wait for the Shock Blast. Artillery will not land there. It's a guessing game. Watch for the barrels. It's M&S who's the one who steps up to take it to keep Cries alive. That's a second kill for the Jace.
That is a second kill, but now push in mid lane, move down towards bot side, get some plating, or not plating, get a turret for Jinx, move the pressure elsewhere on the map. TP actually comes through in the mid lane, and this, yeah, they're just going to be sacking bot side. So while they get a kill on top side, there is a response for Riddle on the bot side instead, and getting Jinx ahead is very pivotal for them in terms of finding success later into the game.
It very much is, and yes, this GP has died 3 times now, but bluntly, he can do his... But what's getting you giggling right now? As MC's just being jumped on, shut down, we'll talk about you giggling later as MC dies to Cries.
It's just the way you set that up. It's just like, and yes, GB has died 3 times, and it just feels like you're, yeah, and yes, he's inted.
Yeah, like, okay, I was trying to be nice. I thought I'd miss something, it's just GP dying a lot, and it happens sometimes in this kind of matchup. As Kikis could be the spot of bother here, does have the Unbreakable, has to pop it, being slowed down, and Kex running up, trying to get himself some fry steak with the trial by fire, but instead has to back out, and this, yes, the GP has soft-ended a little bit with some dicey 1v1s that haven't gone his way, but he can still be just plain useful by throwing down the cannon barrage. He can do his job. As M&S might be punishing Nukes here. That is a 4-level discrepancy, but the Blast Cone allows Nukes to get out to safety.
Nukes getting some vision down here. Want to keep the intel off. Fatuchin pushing in topside. Now, with slow Q in the mid lane, can try and push this in, move their pressure up towards the top side. You're no longer stuck in that situation where Kex is struggling in a side lane just due to the situation not being him against Akali any longer. But look at the vision control from JDXL right now. They'll have so much intel about where MC is moving around. So if they can respond as well to this pressure.
Dodges out on the Soul Flare as M&S. He's not got a flash quite yet. Nukes tower into the tower. Superman Death Rocket doesn't quite work out having to use the heal, but here's Kikis. There are people away. Flash out into the tower. Gets knocked up and will go down to the tower. It is Kikis who picks the kill, though, not M&S.
My eyes! What just happened?
I don't know. MC is now going to try and get his way out of danger, but he's knocked away from the Blast Cone. Will knock down over the pit, but there's actually Cries here as well. And MC, I think he's just dead to rights. He's got no stopwatch, got no way out. And this Rumble is about to get jungled. Zamalek is there. He's going to throw out the Equalizer, trying to burn people. I just got off the healing. He just dies as Zamalek picks that one up. Second kill for him. And JDXL punished some slightly suspect plays.
And just like that, they'll be able to pick up the Rift Towel afterwards, and they stabilized a little bit. It was actually Riddle with a gold lead coming in before that play. Now, after that play itself, they're actually back to dead even. But with a Rift Towel, you suspect that the tempo advantage would go over to the side of JDXL. And there's also a Soul Point Drake coming up in just less than a minute. So we're in for action right now.
We very much are, and a lot of this gold lead intro, like, for what it's worth, it's not very much, it's only 100 or so, but there is a gold discrepancy right now for M&S in mid lane. Purely, it feels, because of this CS. Look how well M&S has been able to get some of that gold. He'll need to make sure he's utilizing it, though, because he's still dying a couple times. He's been attacked a fair amount, in fairness, but he's still going to be a danger. He's still going to be useful. And the other side is just Cries, 3-0-2, a terrifying card.
So how will Riddle actually attack it? Because they're posturing as if they want to.
Onslaught of Shadows did have to be burned, and that's a big ticket ultimate down before the Dragon, but the Equalizer was also popped. Nukes takes chunked, and he's just gone. Deleted, eviscerated from the Rift.
And now with the Equalizer down as well, I don't actually think there's a way that Riddle could get in here and try and contest it. Cries is getting feisty. He's got them on vision.
Oh my god, he just gets another. He's under the Shroud trying to play this one out as best he can, but MC is overheated, and he's about to be taken on to be a triple for Cries. Double overall now, but that's the cannon barrage trying to get him out. He's trying to show it. No way do you get that one and get out. That was just obscene.
1 versus 3. Cries just shows up. He had all the intel he needed for the situation to work, and he executed upon it. Rift Hell, they'll get mid lane turret. They can try and push for another. in the Drake pick. They're picking up another neutral objective. So much just went right for JDXL in that play.
He walks the line, but of course it's Akali. She can perfectly execute it. Cries 7-0-2, looking to make sure XL can still find their way to second in the regular split.
And it looked competitive. Just 2 minutes ago, it looked competitive. This time around, no, when you see plays like that,
Oh, God.
his spirit starts to, lessen a little bit as well. They still have the intel on Kex as well, so it's not even a mistake he's diving in here. He just fully knows that he can go for it. Even decides to stay around for the free 10 gold on the barrel before moving out of the cannon barrage.
Kex can press W as many times as he wants in chat or in game. There aren't enough oranges in the world to heal through that. Oh.
That's not only damage, that's emotional damage on top of that, and unfortunately, oranges are not the cure for that.
Well, you can only just sit there and cries. I mean, look at the guy's name. It's feeling more and more appropriate right now, the tears. Maybe beginning to start. He's going it again. This is just a masterclass. Zamalek picks that one up, but it's all started by cries.
You're watching a master at work. Well, he's not even done. That's on the tower. Surely you can't do this.
He's not master, he's not grandmaster, he's damn challenger. It's feeling like right now. Kex does survive right now. Nuke's coming along to try and punish this. Solar Flare is there, and maybe we've overpraised him. Maybe he's in trouble to 1v3. He's got no flash, and the shutdown goes to the most important player you can get it on, Fatijam.
We were too hype about it, Cries were too hype about it, and he ends up paying for it. Shutdown, as you said, over to Fatijam. 2-2 on the Jinx, moving forward towards the third item. And still a potential win condition for Riddle playing around this AD carry, but they've lost the grasp of the game a little bit, but they're in reach of a 1k gold differential.
Unbreakable Will was hijacked. Slowq now a behemoth of a player with that ability to him. Takes a big chunk. Equalizer comes through. M&S knocked up, but does get out. Also, the shadows will force the stopwatch, and that will now burn out the ultimate. Surely he's in trouble. Cannon Barrage comes through on a Kikis, who does have flash, may need to burn it. Here comes MC and the rest. Knocks Slowq over the wall. Kikis will go down. Nukes will secure another onto M&S, and somehow, somewhere, Riddle don't fall in that play.
Such a messy fight once again on the top side, but this time around it's Riddle who's coming out on top. And we mentioned it, we talked about it, the gold difference. It's now back to dead even between these two teams.
What was this play?
Such a messy play. And they wanted to go for a blue bluff skirmish. They wanted to just steal away camps, and they thought to themselves, okay, we can actually fight this. We're so far ahead. But it's such a split fight from JDXL. 3 members can't even join the Thray. Kikis, he's all by his lonesome. He thinks he can knock M&S over, or Slowq over to M&S to pick up the kill. But Slowq just barely stays alive, forcing Samulik to back off after the instance as well, because Jinx is just getting excited in this fight as well.
Call it out as well. MC was just about in range over the wall with the Flame Spitter to help roast down M&S. Otherwise, I think that was a dead Slowq, but it keeps the game even. They're still down Soul Point. They've still into a position where they've not got a lot of map control, but the more even it stays, the more gold you get into the backs pockets of someone like Slowq, of someone like Fatachan, who's getting closer and closer to an Infinity Edge third item, the more playable this game gets. Second item complete for Gangplank, who is still continuing to at least get items, at least get farm.
Riddle has obtained some topside control of their own jungle, but there's still good vision from JDXL blocking the entrances. You can see it from the mid lane just to ward outside. Pink ward and bush to the left as well, so despite Riddle's core blue side being pinked up, there's actually still a lot of intel going over to JDXL, which allows them to now push forward on the bot side, knowing a lot of members were just seen towards the top side. M&S lurking around.
Again, he's died a few times, but you can see how close some of these fights have been, where it's literally an auto difference often that's been the difference between M&S getting the kill and not. Unfortunately, this time for him and the rest of XL, it's not always worked out the way he liked, but he's still up a vast quantity of CS. He's still doing a lot of damage right now, and yeah, this is the way Jaces often end up. Like, you still get a 3 items, you still do the damage, and that's not the issue right now. Enos is still going to do some work. It's just whether we can stay alive while he's doing it.
Oh, yes. But they can still just wait these 50 seconds for the Cloud. MC, you mentioned it. Equalizer comes out.
Gonna be a lot of damage when there's no flash. M&S burned out in the last one. He's gonna be so much trouble. He's just dead. Surely he just gets burned down. And Down just backs him off. He leaves him alone. He's dead.
40 seconds for potential Cloud Soul as well for JDXL. M&S will barely be up for it. He will have to teleport, but if it started on spawn, well, then Riddle will have a favorable position. Even though this is a 5 versus 4, though, it's still JDXL pushing forward, collecting control of the red side jungle leading into the Drake pit itself.
I wonder whether the reason Dan didn't burn the Onslaught of Shadows there is he knows that Drake Soul's coming up and MLS can teleport in, and actually the Equalizer was burnt. That's not going to be available at the start of this fight, even if it's going pretty low on cooldown right here.
Very close to. I think like just 10 seconds after the Drake has spawned, we'll probably have it off 15. And
this is a call.
That is definitely a call. TP's being invested as well. And I mean, they'll have to call it off immediately. They haven't controlled this from Vision.
They've got the ward in the river that will spot this out. But it was trying to pull JDXL from their position around Dragon. It buys time for Equalizer.
Never works. This play never works because the opponent who's nearing a Drake is just going to be setting one member to solo it, while the rest of the members are stopping the others from starting up the Baron. So, yes, you can walk in here. I don't think it's going to matter much for Riddle. Still doing it either way.
Thinking about it, they've got control of the river at least. 2 items complete across the board right now for Riddle, but it's pretty much the same deal for XL. In fact, M&S, despite 2, 6, and 2, has got 3 items in his inventory, in fact, and he's going to get onto inhibitor towers here.
And no one's really around to stop him just yet. They're coming in now. Equalizer is up if they want to chase down, but look at that movement speed. That is Phase Rush together with the accelerated gate.
Together with Cloud Soul. Guy's just a rapid monster right now the moment he changes form.
That may have been the one, actually. You're probably right. Good call.
All
now, it's only going to be about setting up for the Baron now. You already have the Soul. You just want to bait in Riddle currently, and then you just want to pile down on them. You have a Fed Akali that can take care of the Jinx. And for Riddle, it's all about peeling the Jinx. You can play around Fatuchin, maybe you can make it work. Oh, nukes.
Where's the rest of the team? He's going to get jumped on. Does have an Eclipse shield to buy some time, but Crisis coming over. Dan's charging as well. So much turnaround, but the Equalizers come through. MC has made so many good counter guys, but now he's in trouble. Knocked up by the Pulverize, and he's flattened by it. Cries, trying to get him to Fatuchin. Flashes, heals, over the wall, goes slow Q, trying to get out with the Onslaught of Shadows. He steals away, but it's a shut down. And JDXL now can start moving on to inhibitors.
Guys, you still need the wave. There's still Nexus turrets to move on, but yes, you're right. They can totally take down this inhibitor now. Even move up towards Baron if they want to play it safer. And I think that is going to be the play indeed. JDXL collapsing, punishing a Riddle that's just not together.
And this is my problem. Riddle have turned around plays. They have challenged XL when they've come to try and control their own jungle. But the objective game, look at the tower discrepancy, look at the dragon discrepancy, now look at the Baron discrepancy. It feels like XL have run the map even if the goal has been close.
Oh yeah, you're completely right about that. It looked close for a second itself. MC was running amok himself. But as soon as he was shut down, dying 2 times in a row, losing all those Dark Seals to get stats, that's right, the game really started becoming difficult for Riddle because there was no one driving the game forward any longer. Whereas now for JDXL, multiple members to drive the game forward. Cloud Soul in hand as well, and Cries for sure so goddamn fed on this Akali. Great combo coming in from Kikis, Wing third, and then waiting for the Q afterwards. And Cries, he's just so sped up after ulting the first time with a perfect execution.
Nowhere to go. And for the first time in quite a long time, the counter punch from Riddle doesn't turn into a knockout. It's been a few times where MC, where Slow Q have hit a great equalizer into a great hijacked ultimate that's turned around XL's proactive plays. That time it didn't work out. That time it cost them an inhibitor. That time it costs them a Baron. And they are losing semblances of vision. They're losing the ability right now, it feels, to stop the shove. M&S nearly now at 4 items with the stopwatch with the BF sword inventory alongside the Muramana. There's 3 items on Nata, and the siege with the Baron is going to be pretty hard for Riddle to stop.
From just diving here? Honestly, what's stopping Cries from doing this?
Stop, there's a Dark Seal, there's a Zhonya's, maybe that's what's holding on. The perfect execution was hijacked, but 2 level difference? That is a massive XP lead that Cries can try and bend to his use.
He's going for it. He's going to go for it. He's just waiting. Riftmaker getting stacked up, and while topside is collapsing, bot lane wave is collapsing as well, and this should just be the collapse
Han's just here, of course.
Of the inhibitor turrets as well.
It's no level 16. There's no way to really rapidly switch ultimates right now for Slowku. Yes, you've got a perfect execution. There's no way of stealing the Onslaught of Shadows for the absolutely easy escape. And 3rd inhibitor falls. XL about to break the base. Riddle, what can you do? Can you solve this problem? Live up to your namesake, because this is your last chance. Here we go. Zamalek flashing out, but it's Kickers who start with down, apologize, who's stunned in place. Kickers into the backside, goes in. M&S makes it a 1 for 2 as the turnaround for Kex is there, and maybe, just maybe, they can hold on in the 3v4 until Cries delete slow Q. One of your major damage dealers is gone. The Nexus Towers are dead. XL trying to play this one out as M&S down to no HP. The stopwatch not there. Can Riddle hold on? Down to nothing, and finally, XL will tie up. They've still got a chance for top 2.